In civil litigation, it's all about the documents. You could have boxes and boxes of discovery depending on the case, but a lot of times in personal injury cases, you have medical records, and medical records might need to go back 20 years if they're all related. Or maybe you had an accident 6 years ago and you're still litigating it, and you're getting those records from 6 years ago all the way to the current date. Or if we represent a large corporation, which sometimes is often the case, they have tons of documents, manuals, emails. AI is a game changer for the legal field as far as document management, review, and extracting that information that you really need. Without the use of AI, people are going to fall behind. With not as many attorneys graduating, not as many attorneys that are still left in the field after the economic downturn when a lot of people left, you will need it. After 2020, a lot of firms had difficulty recruiting and finding people based on the fluidity of the economy and turnover and those types of things. So we're spending tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on recruiting fees. But you're not going to have to do that because you're going to be able to do more with less people. With AI and CaseMark in particular, you can have a deposition summary that's going to pull out that pertinent information that you can use to report back to the client. Or for example, if you're reporting on a personal injury case and the medical evidence is very important, then you have a medcron that picks out all of the important pieces in order to look at that and see what you need to report back to the client. And that can be on the defense side or on plaintiff's side. If you're reviewing demand letters to be sent out to insurance adjusters, you're not going to want to dig through 2,000 pages of records that are not organized. Using CaseMark is a great way to summarize documents in your file in a quick manner that allows you to relay information to a client or get prepared. For example, it's a great tool for mediation. A lot of plaintiffs' firms don't want to put a ton of effort, and this is just a different business model than defense, before a mediation or before a trial unless they really are required to, because time is money. So getting prepared for a mediation, it can do a medical chronology to where you can see the strengths and the weaknesses of your case. You can step into that mediation and tell the mediator, here's why defense needs to pay me. Defense can step into that mediation and say, here's why plaintiff will lose at trial. So it's an extremely helpful tool to get ready for those mediations. Put it in your mediation statements. Give it to the mediator to use with both sides, of course, still confidential, but it's an extremely helpful tool. Law firms care a lot about safety and security of their clients' information because we have to. If we don't, you're in violation of the rules of ethics. So you should care, and CaseMark cares a lot about being SOC 2 Type 2 compliant as well as HIPAA compliant. Therefore, you can use CaseMark knowing that it's secure. Not all AI tools integrate well with legal technology tools. For example, every firm usually has their own document management system that's tied to billing, invoicing, those types of things. Luckily, CaseMark integrates directly with Clio, Smokeball, and the tools that you use every day in order to get the products that you want. Lawyers who adopt AI early are going to be so ahead of the game, and the lawyers that don't are simply going to fall behind. The amount of litigation is simply going to increase with the ability to take on more cases, to handle more cases, have those small tasks that are really tedious to do be done by AI, where all the legal thinking, the courtroom work, the arguing in trial, all of those things are still going to be done by those attorneys to generate a lot more income, but reduce those tedious tasks.